humans get their first impression through vision. In fact, 83% of the information we perceive are through vision. Unfortunately, certain people are not blessed with this privilege. In Malaysia, people suffering from blindness or visually impaired rely on a white cane or a sighted guide to navigate around. Guided dogs, on the other hand, are rare in Malaysia. Hence, the idea of smart white cane, which is integrated with different sensors, came to life to enhance the experience in using the white cane for the users. Therefore, it is the motivation for this paper to highlight and explore the different types of sensors for Arduino microcontroller as well as its effectiveness. The main objective of this paper is to study the strength and limitation of each sensor. Then, to compare different models of the sensor and highlight the most effective sensors among them. This research is conducted by performing literature review by other authors, researchers, and papers available. Besides, technical specification documents by the manufacturer are being studied to further highlight and compare each sensor. The sensors that are being studied are obstacle detection sensor, temperature sensor, and light sensor. Obstacle detection sensor is used to detect any obstacle or objects in a distance in front of the sensor. The three main types of frequently used sensors are ultrasonic sensors, infrared sensors, and laser sensor. The main component of an ultrasonic sensor is the transmitter and the receiver. Sound frequency above 18 kHz are transmitted at a speed of 344 meters per second through the transmitter. Then, it is reflected from the obstacle or object and then received by the receiver. Time difference between transmitter and received waves are then used to determine the distance of the object. Infrared sensor has the same working principle as the ultrasonic sensor. Using emitter and detector in the sensor, the infrared light is emitted from the emitter, and when an object is present, it will be reflected and detected by the detector. The change in the intensity of reflected light is then converted into voltage to calculate the distance. In the laser sensor, the transmitter emits the laser's beam and then the receiver receives the reflected beam. It makes use of the time of flight principle to calculate the distance. Since ultrasonic sensor is based on sound wave, its accuracy is affected by density of obstacle surface, noise, environmental condition like temperature, humidity or pressure, and angle of incident. For infrared sensor, it is affected by sunlight or infrared light, surface color of obstacles, and lighting condition. For laser sensor, the accuracy is affected by environment condition, lighting condition, obstacle properties like size, reflectivity, types of surface, as well as angle of incident. Some properties of each sensor that is compared are minimum range, maximum range, resolution, suitable location, and price. Based on the inferences, laser sensor has the best accuracy among the other sensors due to its high energy light beam and less likeliness to disperse in accordance to distance. Temperature sensor is a device that measures the hotness or coldness of an object. In an Arduino microcontroller, the sensor reads a 5V input voltage and changes its voltage output depending on the resistance change in the thermistor. A voltage divider circuit uses two resistors to create a mathematically predictable voltage value, Vout. R1 is the thermistor and it changes in relative to temperature and hence change the Vout generated by the sensor to give temperature readings for the microcontroller. In a semiconductor temperature sensor, power supply voltage can affect the accuracy. Low level of internal voltage regulation will show greater reduction in accuracy too. On the other hand, noise, drift or stability, and the device age will affect the accuracy of the sensor. Some properties of each sensor that is compared are range of measurement, accuracy, output type, resolution, and price. From the inferences studied, LM35 has the biggest range measurement, whereas in terms of accuracy, DS18B20 has the highest accuracy. Light sensor is an electronic device used to detect ambient light, how bright or dark the environment is. The detected ambient light is then translated into electrical signals, mostly current, voltage, or resistance. Phototransistor has the same working principle as a transistor. To determine how much current can pass through the circuit, phototransistor relies on the exposure of the light. When light falls on the junction on the base, a reverse current flows in proportional to the luminance. Accuracy of light sensors depends on the level of lights. Photocells are more sensitive to red and green light as compared to blue light due to a longer wavelength of red and green light than blue light. Red light is also nearer to the light spectrum of infrared light. On the other hand, dark resistance, the resistance of photocells under zero illumination lighting condition, greatly affect the accuracy of sensor. It defines maximum leakage current for a given voltage. Next, resistance against temperature also affects the accuracy. Lastly, the speed of response, which the response time to measure the speed in response to the change of intensity, also affect the accuracy of reading. Some properties of each sensor that is compared are type, maximum voltage, working ambient temperature, spectral peak, photoresistance, dark resistance, rise response time, size, weight, and price. Based on the inference, TMT6000 is more effective in terms of working ambient temperature, spectral peak, photoresistance, and response time. In conclusion, we can identify the effectiveness of the sensors for obstacle detection, temperature, and light based on literature review of available resources. While there are more new sensors and technology that is being developed, we believe more accurate readings can help in increasing the effectiveness of the sensor. So, these sensors with higher effectiveness can be embedded into white cane, thus bringing a better quality of life to the society, especially to those in need.